you something. Building something like this, the plane is your love, and wanting to see it get into some sort of a shape. And then you start getting into technicalities, and then it's, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's then your human frailties come in, because one guy says do it like this, and another guy says do it like that, and then you have a hell of a blow up, and then you do it sort of somewhere in the middle.
Francois Naude and Derek Kershaw, we're sitting in front of your Whisper.
Correct.
Can you tell us what this project's all about? No?
We don't know.
We're still trying to find out.
No.
We're getting there. But,
Well, for myself, and I think same for Francis maybe, we were flying the truck, and we would fly to Swellendam, and we'd fly here and there, and we enjoyed it immensely, but it was a trial, because the weather got bad, and then you battled, and you really can't go long distance and enjoy yourself. You can fly around here, that is the perfect machine. I mean, it's the basis of it. And then we sort of started thinking, Warren got a 3-axis control, and then, which is this, he built a Whisper. And our friend Robbie Bevan and a whole group of guys got a thing called a Cheetah, which is in the next door hangar. So the horizons were starting to expand, you know, the view, and we started to look at see pictures of Namibia and the gliding fraternity up there, and wanting to go, I guess, here and there into the Karoo further, you know. So it's just a natural progression.
Planning a cross-African trip, is that correct?
Well, you know, that's, you've got to have a goal, I'd say, eh?
yeah, sure. It gives us quite a big horizon to aim for. But it was one of the motivating factors all along as we built, is to really to be able to fly to France one day and do it in a way that Derek allows Derek to fly alone, basically, for the full length of the trip, with support, obviously, along the way, ground support or aerial support or whatever. So that was the mission.
Wouldn't it be easier just to get a ticket on SA?
No.
Actually not. We even had that experience. We tried to go to France.
We went to France for an air show, and I'm now a firm believer in don't fly SA.com.
Yeah,
So never again will I fly SA.
Okay. You'd rather fly yourself?
Yeah, and look, everything's got to have an adventure, otherwise what's the point, you know? And who knows, the energy that's been put into building the plane has been so much that you lose focus on what your dream is, you know. And then once we're flying, I'm sure that dream will germinate again. And if we do it, when we do it, we'll have a support plane that can take all the kit. There's no good suffering, you know.
Tell us a little bit about that energy. I think you said 2,000 hours have gone into the project so far. This is a handmade plane, is that correct?
It's 100% handmade.
Yeah, more like a custom crafted hand.
One-off.
One-off specialized aircraft, really, because one of the reasons why we built our own plane is to make it viable for Derek to fly using hands only on the controls.
Yeah.
And that by itself is quite a challenge.
Yeah.
Because firstly you need space inside the cockpit, and we've got to have dual controls that operate conventionally for me, which is using hands and feet, and only hands for him. So what you don't see in the cockpit is this whole dual system that's designed to give us both control. And that's part of the reason for choosing an aircraft, also with a wide cockpit and so on. So it's a very important part of the exercise, actually.
The engine is a BMW, is it GS1200?
GSR1200, yeah. It's the off-road engine that's been proven time and time again. I don't know whether you've seen the long way around and the long way down. It's exactly that engine.
So now you're going to fly the long way over.
Long way up.
The long way up. How does she fly? How does she fly? You have
Well, the test pilot has taken it up and he flies his own, and he says that possibly it flies a little bit better than his in balance. But I think that's just because it flies easily. You know, there's no vices in it. The engine is a development engineering, how can I put it? Project, yeah. So there are certain modifications we've had to make and get them to work. And there's a long distance between the mentor or the designer of using that engine and using the electronics. He designed the electronics with he and his son-in-law. That's Scrotopas and Otto. And so it's been time, you know, we've had to wait because of distance to get things set up properly. And even now, there's still certain things that have got to be changed once the plane is finished and flying properly. Then we've got to adjust the fuel, the richness and the fuel flow and everything like that.
Actually, if I remember right, interesting motivation for using the motor was I saw the BMW Boxer motor used the first time in Reunion, funny enough. There was a guy there who had a beautiful trike which was made probably in Czechoslovakia, I think. And he had it there, and he had this engine on it. So we took a photograph of it, I watched him fly a little bit, came back, I don't know, we chatted about it, and then I forgot about it, and
I heard about Scrotopas then,
yeah.
Dr. Scrotopas.
He heard about Scrotopas, and then he heard about a motor that had crashed, because this motor crashed in the Kalahari, and then got recovered, and then was put up for sale as I think as an insurance claim, basically.
Insurance claim.
Yeah. So you know, all these things work together to eventually.
They all knit and flow into one another. It's a journey. Yeah. It's exactly like a journey.
Again, it's the organic aspect of this thing, because you know one thing leads to another without forcing the issue ever, and you arrive at the destination actually in that way.
I'd like to introduce you to the build team. Starting on my left, Francois, my partner. He did half the work, I did 3/4 of the work. Joke. Joke. Warren is on my right, is our mentor, and he did the checks before John Dudley did the checks. John Dudley on the extreme right. Nena Kayatsonti is a very key member of the team. He did the very difficult parts of climbing under the aeroplane and sanding and helping me spray and climbing into the fuselage to do construction. So Nena has taken a large part of the hard work. He spent weeks sanding here. Margie, my sister, my dear sister, she is the official photographer. Peter Abbott, I nearly made a mistake there, Peter. Peter Abbott did all electronics. Nothing caught fire, and it still hasn't, so, you know, we live in hope. And then John Dudley, the checker of the checker. And Diesel. And Diesel the dog. Don't forget. We've grown up with it, now we can enjoy the pleasures of flying. And it's a disease, It's a virus, actually. And it's only cured by altitude.
Yes, careful. Francois Naude, Derek Kershaw, thank you very much.
Thank you.